AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gokuvinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Navadip Dham ki Jai. Jagannath Puri ki Jai. Ganga Mai ki Jai. Jamuna Mai ki Jai. Tulsi Devi ki Jai. Bhakti Devi ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Ādi-līlā, Chapter 3, Text 74. Nityananda Gosai Sakshat Alatar Advaita Charja Gosai Sakshat Ishar
Shakshad Haladar. Nanda Shakshad Haladar. Advaita Acharya Gosai. Nanda Gosai Shakshad Haladar.
I should point out, since we say this name often enough, that there's first A is long, Nityananda, not Nityananda, Nityananda. There's, did I discourage you all?
Nanda Gosai Shakshad. Acharya Gosai Shakshad. Nanda Gosai Shakshad Haladar. Acharya Gosai Shakshad.
It is.
Nanda Gosai Shakshad
Nityananda Gosai, Lord Nityananda Gosai, Sakshat, directly. Balatar, Lord Balaram, holder of the plow. Advaita Charja Gosai, Sri Advaita Charja Gosai. Sakshat, directly. Ishar, personality of Godhead. Sri Nityananda Gosai is directly Balatar, Lord Balaram, and Advaita Acharya is the personality of Godhead himself. Srivasadi Parishad, Srivasadi Parishad, Shvanya Shangela, Dvi Shena Pati Pune, Kirtan Goya. These two captains, with their soldiers, such as Srivas Thakur, travel everywhere, chanting the holy name of the Lord. Ashanda Dolan Bana, Nityananda Roy, Acharya Hunkare Pap, Ashandi Balai. Lord Nityananda's very features indicate that he is the subduer of the unbelievers. All sins and unbelievers flee from the loud shouts of Advaita Acharya. Sankirtana Pravartak Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sankirtan Yagye Tare Bhaje Chaitanya. Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya is the initiator of Sankirtan, congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. One who worships him through Sankirtan is fortunate indeed. Veta Shumetar Kubuti Shamshar Sarva Yagya Hoite Krishna Nama Yagyashar. Such a person is truly intelligent, whereas others who have but a poor fund of knowledge must endure the cycle of repeated birth and death. Of all sacrificial performances, chanting of the Lord's holy name is the most sublime. Purport: Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the father and inaugurator of the Sankirtan movement. One who worships him by sacrificing his life, money, intelligence, and words for the Sankirtan movement is recognized by the Lord and endowed with his blessings. All others may be said to be foolish, for of all sacrifices in which a man may apply his energy, the sacrifice made for the Sankirtan movement is the most glorious. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Mayam Rupakala Mayam Tatati Shabadansam Shri Guru Shri Jatapada Kamalang Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raganatam Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savatutam Pavijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Shahagana Lulita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hori Priye. Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhobhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Ādi-līlā Gadadhar Shri Vāsadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Here we find Kaviraj Goswami is continuing to unpack the verse Krishna Varno Tasha Krishna Sangam Pangastra Varshana Yagyaya Sankirtana Prior Yajanti Sumedasa. He tells us, we've been hearing Sangopangashtra Parshana. In previous ages, the Lord comes with weapons like a bow and arrow or a club or a chakra or a chopper. But in Kali Yuga, his weapons are the beauty of his angas, his own bodily limbs, or anga can also mean paryashad, associates. So among the associates of the Lord, Nityananda Gosai and Advaita Acharya Gosai are both forms of the Supreme Personality of God. When we see the Panchatattva, on the left side of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are other forms of the Lord. And on the right side of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is, right side from our point of view, is the energy of the Lord. Advaita and Nityananda are expansions of the Lord. And Gadadhar and Srivas are energy of the Lord. Lord Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram Hoilunitai. Balaram, the first expansion of Krishna, has come as Nityananda Prabhu. Balaram is also known as Alatar because he carries a plow, either for agricultural activities or for smashing the demons. He has two weapons, a gada, and that's a club, or a hala, a plow. So he's the holder of the plow or the holder of the club, halantar or gadadhar. And the Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu. So these are both expansions of Krishna himself. They're Vishnu Tattva. And Shakti Tattva, Gadadhar is the internal energy of the Lord. And Srivas represents the Jiva potency of the Lord. So energetic and energy. The energy is always on the left. That is to say, from our point of view, the right. So here we see Radha Govinda. So Govinda is on our left, and Srimati Radharani is on his left. The potency is always on the left. So these are all angas of the Lord. Advaita, Srivas, Nityananda, Gadadhar. So the full Panchatattva is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Ādi-līlā Gadadhar, Sri Vāsadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Sri Vāsadi Parshad Shainya Shangela Sri Shena Pati Pule Kirtan Kuriya. So the these are further parishads, Sangha Panga, Sangha Upanga, the expansions and expansions of the expansions. So Nityananda and Advaita Acharya spread the Sankirtan movement, and Srivas and others also. Ashanda Dolanavana Nityananda Roy Acharya Unkare Pashandi Paloi. So what is that? In the presence of Nityananda Prabhu and Acharya Prabhu, the demons and the sinful activities flee. We see practically where there's kirtan and sinful activities are not to be found. In Los Angeles, we have our Ratha Yatra every year at the Venice Beach. And the police have commented many times that when the Ratha Yatra is there, then it's like an easy job for them because the whole atmosphere becomes very peaceful and happy, and there are no serious troubles. But as soon as the Ratha Yatra packs up, then the usual nature of Venice Beach takes over, and especially the evening nature of Venice Beach takes over. And then there's stabbings or thefts or whatever it is that's going to happen there, fights. So in the presence of the Sankirtan movement, the sinful activities disappear. What is that in Bhagavad Gita? Tane Rishikesha Tava Prakirtya Tava Prakirtya Prayajya Anurajyatecha Rakshamsi Bhitani Shojavanti Let's find it. 11th chapter. Tane Rishikesha. Stade Rishikesha Tava Prakirtya Jagat Prarishyatya Nirajyate. 36, 1136. My dear Rishikesha, this is all very good. What is that? That by your glories, prakirtya, by your loud glorification or intense glorification, prakirtya, or by your glorious glorification, your glorious, by the glorious recitation or broadcasting of your activities, prakirtya. Jagat pravishyati anurajyatecha. The whole world, Jagat, becomes extremely happy, pravishyati. And anurajyate, did someone find the verse? How is anurajyate? Becoming attached, anurajyate. By hearing the holy name of Krishna, then everyone becomes happy, people become attached to Krishna. This chanting is so nice, Krishna is so nice, the philosophy is so nice, the food is so nice. When there's glorification when the Sankirtan movement is going on, people become happy and people become attracted, and then the attracted people become attached. The attached people give their lives. But there's an exception. Rakshansi Pitani Dasho Javanti. The demons, the Rakshasas, Rakshansi Pitani, they don't like it. They become afraid even. This is going to hurt our business. This is going to hurt our, people are going to start giving up smoking, giving up alcohol, giving up illicit sex, giving up gambling. This is not good. This is not good. They're going to start spreading the wrong ideas that there's a God in charge of everything and that we should be performing religious activities. So then they become fearful, and then they what's the word, disperse. like cockroaches when you turn on the light. They don't like it. They like the dark. So the demons like the darkness. They don't like the holy name. Of course, even the demons may become attracted, but generally they don't like the holy name. They don't like glorification of the Lord. But everyone else will appreciate it. So Rakshangsi Pitani, they become afraid, and Dishodravanti, they scatter in all directions. But Sarve Namashanti, everyone else, and Sarve Namashanti, Cha Siddha Sangha, the perfect persons, the Siddhas, the congregated Siddhas Sangha, Siddha Sangha, they offer you their obeisances. Sarve Namashanti. So this is what it is. The pious persons will be attracted to Krishna, and the mudhas, the dushkriti, the maya, pratyagana, asura bhavamashrita, they'll namam prapajyante. They won't surrender unless some change happens. That's also possible by the grace of the holy name. But generally, separates the sheep from the goats, or the wheat from the chaff. There'll be those. Therefore, book distribution along with the kirtan party is very effective, because when the kirtan party is there, you can see who's who quite readily. There'll be those who will stay and linger and watch the kirtan party and maybe tap their feet and stay longer. They'll be interested, you can see by their face that this is nice, whatever it is. And then there are those who hold their ears and look for the fastest way to get past the kirtan party. So those who are attracted, they're the natural candidates. Yes, here's some more information. We have our books. So the kirtan pre-selects, in that sense, likely candidates for finding out more about Krishna consciousness. Of course, anywhere, anyone can take to Krishna consciousness or can take our books or in other ways participate. But the Harinam Sankirtan is all book distributors have their practical experience. The Kirtan party is there. And naturally, fortunate people become attracted, and they may naturally also take our books. Therefore, Prabhupada told us, in the early days, early, we just went out chanting. By Prabhupada's instruction, we would go out in the East Village and chant Hare Krishna with our Kirtan party, and it would be very blissful and nice. But then Prabhupada told us that we should also distribute the Bhakti Godheads on the Kirtan, with the Kirtan party. Prabhupada said any gentleman will give a quarter, 25 cents. It was the price of a Bhakti Godhead in those days. Maybe that was double the price of a Coca-Cola in those days. 25 cents. Any gentleman will give a quarter. So we took that up and began distributing the Bhakti Godhead along with the Kirtan party. Some people would take it, some people wouldn't take it. But in that way, the distribution of the magazine, which had been really quite negligible, increased considerably. Just putting it into little stores and stuff didn't do very much. When the devotees distributed the Bhakti Godhead with the Kirtan party, then naturally the distribution increased. And then when Bhagavad Gita as it is came out, the first abridged Macmillan edition, one with the blue cover with Lord Vishnu on the cover. And there also, by the way, Prabhupada gave some instruction about where his name should be. He said it should be on the left of Lord Vishnu, because the energy is always on the left. For the same reason, he didn't want his name above the title of the books. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, no. The title of the book should be above, and Prabhupada's name should be below. That was his instruction. So anyway, the Macmillan abridged Bhagavad Gita as it is came out, and Prabhupada said we should distribute these books along with the Kirtan Party. And that was more of a challenge. What was a book back then? $2 or $3 or something. That's a lot more than a quarter. Every gentleman may give a quarter. He may not give dollars. So it was a challenge, but still the devotees took the books by Prabhupada's order, and we tried to distribute some with mixed results. But gradually the devotees learned how to do it, and so many millions of books have been distributed. So now let's see where we were. So the sinful activities and the sinful persons flee when there's loud chant, Acharya Hunkare. Hunkar means like a loud cry. Hunkar. It's not Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's a loud, like a yell. So everybody flees, all the demons and all the sinful activities flee. We also read in Krishna book that after Putana was killed, then Yashodamai and the village ladies were chanting the holy name to protect the baby, Krishna. He'd already protected himself, it wasn't a problem. But out of love for Krishna, they thought we have to protect the child. And the best protection is the chanting of various holy names of the Lord. Because where there's chanting of the holy name, and the witches, the ghosts, the evil spirits, the whatever else may be out there, they can't come. First, Vrindavan has its own transcendental existence. So even Putana, she could only come for Krishna's pastimes by Krishna's permission, that there could be some drama. But otherwise, where there's glorification of Krishna, they have no entrance. The story is famous also how when Prabhupada was on John Lennon's estate, there was one cottage that was haunted by ghosts. And Prabhupada just told, these old estates to which the former owners were unreasonably attached and who were therefore haunting the place. The Prabhupada said, just have kirtan. That was it. Go swimming. And ghostly life goes away. People are living just like ghosts. We were reading last night in Bhagavatam. Was it? Yeah. That people are like dead men. That's mentioned in Bhagavatam also, that the hands, although decorated with nice bracelets, if not engaged in the service of the Lord, are like the hands of a dead man. So all of the senses, unless one is Krishna conscious, are like dead man senses. They're just engaged for dead activities, for this dead material body. So that means it's like ghostly life, because what dead people do things, those who have received the bodies of ghosts. And so many people are leading like a ghostly life, intoxication, madness. but by the chanting of the holy name, even they can become purified. Sankirtan Pravartak Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sankirtan Yagya-tare Bhaje Chaitanya. So Sankirtan Pravartak, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the initiator of Harinam Sankirtan. And those who bhaje, who engage in the worshipping the Lord by the Sankirtan movement, Chaitanya, they're very fortunate. Chaita Sumedha, they're Sumedha. Now we come to the point. Yajantihi Sumedhasam, those who've got, well, literally good brain substance, or those who are intelligent, they engage in worshipping the Lord by Sankirtan. And Gair Sankirtana Prayaya Sumedhasam. But there are others, Kubhuti. There's Subhuti and Kubhuti. Subhuti means very nice intelligence, and Kubhuti means just the opposite, bad intelligence. Kubhuti. So those who are Kubhuti, they just remain in samsara. Samsara means materialistic life, and samsara also means the cycle of repeated birth and death. Sarva yagya hoite Krishna nam yagyasar. Of all different kinds of yagyas, sarva yagya, Krishna nam yagya is the essence. The chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Krishna nam yagya. Not demigod nam, not this nam, that nam, but Krishna nam. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna is received in the parampara system. Nivritta Tarsharupani-yamana. What is that? Nivritta Tarsharupani-yamana. Baboshadat Jyotamano Virama. Ka uttama shloka gunanamana. Kumam virajeta. Dina virajeta. Pashugna virajeta. Dina Pashugna. Yes. Beginning again. What was the first line? Nivritta Tarsha, those who are free from thirst for material enjoyment, can take to this chanting of the holy name of the Lord, or the glories of the Lord. Nivritta Tarsha Rupaniyamana. Bhavoshadach Trotamano Birama. This is the Oshati. Enechyo Shodhimaya Nashivaralaki. Harinam Mahamantra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I brought the medicine. Everyone is suffering from this disease of birth and death, Bhavarog. But I brought the medicine. Harinam Mahamantra. Bow to me, Magin. Hare Krishna. Chanting, just take it. So, Bhavoshadach, this is the antidote for bhava, material existence. And Shrotra Virama, to hear this chanting is pleasing to the ears and to the heart. Shrotra Virama. Ka Uttama Shloka. The verses glorifying the Lord are Uttama Shloka. They're all transcendental sound vibrations, or they're the best of all sound vibrations. Uttama Shloka, Guna Anuvada, glorifying the characteristics of the Lord, the qualities, form, activities of the Lord. Anu, following in the line of acharyas, not mental concoctions, not imagination, not ad hoc concoctions, but what's received from the parampara system. When we vibrate that transcendental sound, it becomes pleasing to the mind, pleasing to the ears, and it acts as the antidote for birth and death. There may be other vibrations that are also pleasing to the mind and pleasing to the ears. The sounds vibrated on the radio and the internet and SoundCloud and all of those things. Those sounds may be very pleasing to the mind and the ear, but they don't do anything to free us from birth and death. Rather, they increase our implication in birth and death. But this sound, Bhavoshadi, cures birth and death. Same thing, sound. By sound, anuvritti shabda, by sound one becomes liberated. Vedanta. Or by sound one becomes entangled. So when we hear the sound coming through the parampara system, glorifying Krishna, then it acts as the antidote for birth and death. Who Kuman Virajyeta Vina Pashugna? Who else would give up this wonderful process or leave aside this wonderful process except for those who are Pashugna? Pashugna means, Pashu means animals, and Gna, those who kill. The animal killers may not be very attracted. And another meaning of Pashugna is one who's killing himself. People who are killing themselves by intoxication, gambling, meat eating, they may not be very keen to take up this process. But still, Lavamantra Sadhu Shange Sharvasiddhi. If they get the association of pure devotees, everything can change. And by the efforts of the devotees to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the holy name of Krishna can spread in every direction. And even those who are unfortunate can become fortunate and take part in the Sankirtan movement. Hare Krishna. Are there any questions, comments, etc.? Yes. The energies on the left, the expansions are on the right, and we remember from previous days that Lord Jesus Christ said, I sit on the right hand of God. So of course, trying to mix different spiritual approaches to divinity can get awfully prickly. And so not the best of undertakings. But in general, it's understood that, from one point of view, in Hebrew culture, the right hand is considered auspicious and the left hand is considered inauspicious. Therefore, we have dexterity, from Latin dexter, right hand. And then what do we have? Sinister, from the Latin meaning the left. So if you're a right-hand man, you're dexterous, and if you're a left-hand man, you're sinister. In Ecclesiastes, it said that something to the effect the wise take the right-hand path and the unwise take the left-hand path. So it's a sort of a convention. Right is good and left is bad. Sorry, lefties, but that's convention. So therefore, it would follow that Lord Jesus Christ would be on the right-hand side of God, not on the left-hand side. He would be God's right-hand man, as it were. So it can be taken that way. He wasn't speaking to a Vedic or Aryan audience. So for that audience, the right hand. Is that okay? But the fools, they don't want to be on the right hand or the left hand. They want to be, unhand me. They don't want to be under control. They don't want to be controlled by God's right hand or by God's left hand. But still, God controls them through material energy. Also, I didn't touch upon in the purport, the verse was alluded to, that one should engage in the service of Krishna with one's money, one's words, one's intelligence, or one's life. That verse was quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam in relation to the trees. When Krishna and Balaram were in the Vrindavan forest, Krishna was glorifying the trees. And then in that connection, this point was made. So we should surrender our life to Krishna. All right, if you can't surrender your life to Krishna, then surrender your money to Krishna. No, I have no money. Then your words, your intelligence, something. Everybody has a little intelligence. Everyone speaks, almost everyone. We have a little money. Finally, our life, that's the best thing. Prabhupada told Ambarish Prabhu, I don't want your money, I want your life. Of course, he got the money also. But why just shoot for the money? Sometimes we're very interested in getting money, fundraising, getting money, life membership program, this program, that program, fundraising program. And that's all right, we need money. But more important is that we want people's lives. Prabhupada, when he devised the life membership program, people would give money and they would get books. And it was intended not just as a way to get money, but as a way to enable people to come to make progress toward Krishna. All right, they may not give their life, they won't join the ashram and become brahmacharis. But they're business people, they have money. So let them give their money for Krishna, and we'll give them books, we'll give them prasadam, we'll give them the association of devotees, we'll invite them to the temple, whatever we can do. Now you're our member, so what can we do for you to bring you closer to Krishna? That was the idea. Money, definitely, we want money. But every enterprise, material or spiritual, money will be useful. But it wasn't just the money. And sometimes when it became all about the money, then the actual purpose was blocked. So in one sense, that's the secret of fundraising. We think the secret of fundraising is to put the screws on people. But the real secret is to serve. If we serve people, if we give them holy name, if we give them prasadam, if we give them philosophy, books, if we give them association, money will also come. Otherwise, why should I give money? Maybe as courtesy, someone's, all right, give him something, or get him to go away. They'll give some money, all right, here. But if we give them Krishna consciousness, if we're actually concerned for their spiritual welfare, and do everything we can to serve them in their advancements toward back to Godhead, money will come. If we preach, money will always follow. If we just pursue money, sometimes everything falls apart. Yes, now we have, why distribute books? We could distribute towels, t-shirts, hats. And then we'll get money. But then we lose everything, because we're not giving Krishna consciousness, we're just getting money. So there's no benefit for the people. And then the distributors are thinking, also, why should I sell these hats and give money to the temple? I can keep the money. It's good business. When it just becomes money business, then, all right, let me pocket the money. So then you lose everything. You gave up your duty of spreading Krishna consciousness just to get money, thinking the money will help spread the movement. Then you lost the movement and you lost the money. So, of course, we're not averse to money. Prabhupada mentioned that there was one person in India, one saintly person. He was so saintly that if someone offered him money, it was said, his hand would automatically, go like this. He was so saintly that if someone offered him money, his hand would just automatically. Prabhupada said, my hand goes like this. Because it's Krishna's money, it can be used in Krishna's service. But it's not all about money. Finally, it's about bringing people closer to Krishna. Yes.
It reminds me of Prabhupada when he was new in his chart that they said he would get a lot of money. So he was always thinking, oh, let me make a lot of money and then give it to my Guru Maharaj to spread everything. But then it actually worked the other way around until at the end of his life when he lost everything and then just tried to spread everything, then all the money came.
Yeah. I'll just repeat the comment for those who didn't hear. That the astrologer predicted that Prabhupada would make a lot of money. And Prabhupada was thinking, I'll do good business and I'll make money and we can use it for Guru Maharaj's mission. But he didn't make much money. Instead, all the money got taken away. And then in his later years, Prabhupada spread the Krishna consciousness movement and got so much money. Prabhupada said, we started with 7 rupees, and now every day he would recite the numbers. Every day we have this many centers, and in each center they're spending at least this much. So it means, even from a business point of view, we're making so much money. But it wasn't for our enjoyment. It's not that so much money is coming in and therefore I can live extravagantly. And Prabhupada lived simply always. But money was there for Krishna's service. Prabhupada said that even an ordinary materialistic person spends money to spread his reputation. We just had this presidential election, and they spent on both sides millions and millions of dollars just to glorify, glorify Kamala, glorify Trump. Just for glorification of a politician. The politicians would spend so much money. So if the ordinary political people will spend money for glorification of their candidate, then how much can Krishna spend? Prabhupada said Krishna is the financier. So when we glorify Krishna, Krishna will send money also. Everyone likes to hear himself glorified. Krishna, that's originally in Krishna. He also likes to hear his own glories. Not because he's egotistical, like a mundane, ordinary person, but because he's the greatest person. And when the Smaller persons glorify the big person. Everything's in the right place. And bhavoshri, when he's being glorified, then people are being cured of their material disease of mind. So Krishna is very pleased when there's glorification. Otherwise, yajna, how is it pleasing? Krishna likes it. Why is Sankirtan considered the best yajna in Kali Yuga? Because Krishna likes it, that's all. Krishna likes to hear his name spread all over the world. He likes it. Yes, he likes it, but especially this is the cure. So if we're engaged in that service, automatically money will come. Yes.
And with the question of money, if we're collecting this money, what's good guidelines to know that we're spending it in the right way?
If we're collecting this money, what guidelines to see that we're spending it in the right way? First thing, and Prabhupada, just from a practical point of view, Prabhupada was insistent on good accounting. If you'd like to hear about this sometime, talk to my godbrother, Tejas Prabhu, former temple president of Delhi. Prabhupada would drill him on the accounts. Are the accounts being properly kept? So that's the first thing. Prabhupada would, like put people through the ringer because, where did this 50 paisa go? Why is it not there in the accounts? Accounts have to match. This much income, this much expenditure, balance tallies, everything good. If it doesn't tally, something's wrong. The money has not been properly looked after. When it's properly looked after, you can account for every paisa, every penny. So Prabhupada was insistent, not all over the world because he couldn't be all over the world, but wherever he was, where he got into it, the accounts had to be exact. Because this is my contribution, that as in physics, what is it of things behave differently when they're seen, right? Quantum mechanics, something's a wave or a particle according to whether you're looking or not. So things behave differently when they're seen. So money behaves differently. This is my personal experience. I used to just get money. People would give me money. I'd put it in my pocket. When I needed to spend it, I'd spend it. That was it. And it worked. The money came in, the money went out. But then at some point, actually Caitanya-caritāmṛta Maharaj had an accounting program that he was using, and he would account for all his income and expenditures. So I adopted the same procedure, and everything changed. Now you know how much money came in, how much money went out, what it went out for, and it behaves differently. That's just your own, what's in your own grip. It behaves differently. The whole thing works differently. I had no idea how much money was coming in, how much was going out, what it was going out for. I mean, I knew when I spent it, but the overall picture, there's no budget, there's no restriction, there's no accountability to anyone else. You're an honest person, so you take the money and you use it for Krishna. But that's different from when it's accounted for. And therefore, Prabhupada was insistent on, what would we say, meticulous accounting. Well, bulletproof that's a very high, but meticulous. People can still shoot bullets, what can you do? But meticulous accounting. And that's just the individual level. Now you take a temple, or you take temples are good, a kirtan party, a traveling party, a temple, a project. And when you start accounting for your income and expenditures, things behave differently. Trust me, they do. I know at one point our Vrindavan temple was grossly mismanaged. And just money was going out like water. And they brought in new co-presidents, one of whom was Devaki Nandan Prabhu, those who know Devaki Nandan Prabhu, Juhu or Kanpur. He was brought in as a co-president. And he brought in his accountant from Bombay to institute the same financial procedures that were in place at the Juhu temple, which means no money is just given out. It's given out with a voucher. Even here, I was in Hansarupa Prabhu's office yesterday, and someone came in for $20 to renew a subway fare card. And okay, here's the petty cash voucher. And you filled it out, and now you sign it, and now we have records. That $20 went to whoever it went to, and it's accounted for. And if the accountant wants to see all the records, he can go down to the petty cash and see that $20 was spent for this purpose. That's accounting. Not that just, oh, there was like $300 in petty cash. Yeah, for what? Well, we don't really know. Who did it go to? We don't know that either. So Devaki Nandan Prabhu brought in his accountant, and immediately the expenditures of the temple plummeted because the money was not being accounted for, and money not accounted for behaves differently. That is to say, everyone had a straw in the pipeline and was sucking Krishna's money. Prabhupada said that money is like my blood. You know, so they were like blood sucking. So the accountant came in and put the proper procedures in place, and all of a sudden, there was money, where previously there'd been no money. So we're caretakers. We're not owners of this money. It's not our money. Krishna's money. And Krishna's money has to be seen to responsibly. If I give you something, you know, like we have Prabhupada's slippers here. So if I give you Prabhupada's slippers, that means now you have a big responsibility. You have to take care of them, and you have to safeguard them, and you have to see that everything's okay. So everything is like that. The machines, the Ādi-līlā failure, the mridangas, the kartals, it's all Krishna's property. And the money. So you see to the kartals and mridangas by cleaning them and putting the straps and keeping them in a proper place, and then you see to the money by accounting. So that's the first thing. Money accounted for. All the money should be meticulously accounted for. And when it's accounted for, along with that, it should be conserved. Not that we can spend money, like Prabhupada said, this is the Americans, you know, whenever there's a problem or something, you just throw money at it. But in where Prabhupada came from, no. Money never leaves the door without a fight. When they installed an elevator in the Juhu temple, maybe that was the first elevator in ISKCON, I don't know, probably. But anyway, when they installed it, Prabhupada told them that they should only take the elevator going up. Because every time you move the elevator, you're spending money. The electricity to run the elevators, that's significant. So Prabhupada, sorry. Yeah, I know. I'm pressing no and still doesn't believe me. Okay, finally. Um, So Prabhupada didn't want them taking the elevator up. You can walk down, taking the elevator down. Did I say it backwards? We could only take the elevator up, not going down. Because going down, you can walk. You don't need an elevator. Why spend money to go down? When we get an elevator here, finally, someone should post a sign at every floor, you know, advising people that unless you have a reason, don't take the elevator down. It adds up. There's 30 people. Everybody's taking the elevator up. The prophet, and he didn't want them taking the elevator one flight up. 1 or 2 flights, you can walk. Why should you take the elevator from the first floor to the second floor? Are we so rich that we can just spend without consideration? So he was strong on it. People would, so many things. A room is locked and there's a fan running. Prabhupada would be angry. Money is being wasted. A fan is running, the lights are on, nobody's there. In America, we'd think, well, I'll leave the light on because I'm coming back. 10 minutes later, you come back. It was going to be 2 minutes, but it became 10 or it became an hour. And meanwhile, all that energy has been wasted and you pay for it. Con Edison collects that money. They have accountants. So Prabhupada would become angry. Krishna's money is being needlessly spent. He would really be angry. Lights were left on, fans were left on. So money should be accounted for. Money should be conserved. Conserved isn't a strong enough word. Guarded. Should be guarded. And it should be spent. And it should be spent. It's not that we just want to hoard the money. Money is for spending. Especially on books. That was Prabhupada's #1 priority for spending. For books, for temples, for spreading the Krishna consciousness movement. So money should be accounted for. Money should be guarded. Money should be wisely spent. And when you're doing all of these things, then you can account not only to the GBC or those, but to your stakeholders, all of your stakeholders. The devotees who contribute are also stakeholders in your project. That's why they gave money. They want your project to succeed. So you owe them an explanation. You owe them an account. You took their money. Now you owe them an account. Not just here's how much money you gave us, but here's how much money came in. Here's how much money went out. Here's how it was spent. And when you do that, people get confidence and they give you more money. And if you can't account for it, or you don't even acknowledge that you got it, then next time you come, yes, here's $28, $11. That means just courtesy. But if you care for it capably and responsibly, then Krishna also sees, yes, if I give this if I send them money, they'll use it for me. Otherwise, why should I? So Krishna thinks that way, your donors think that way. That I only want to give it if they're going to use it properly and account for it. So I hope that answers your question. All right. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.